Previously, we covered the first reunion period, the reopening of old wounds for on-screen closure and budget exposure. We observed a more mature group of performers, still punch-drunk from the first round of heavy hits. But now, with one foot back in the real world, it's very clear to all of them that they'll need to tolerate each other for the big payday. After the reunion, with their theatre hugs and fake forgiveness, and desperation to cling onto the cash cow, promises are made that it's not over, and they return to their lives for another extended break from each other. Following in the steps of H, Claire reluctantly accepts an offer of around £250,000 to appear on Celebrity Big Brother.
Hello, my name's Claire Richards. I'm probably best known for being in the 90s pop group Steps.
Nobody knows you from anywhere other than Steps. But despite going through her Miss Piggy era, she knows she can still pull off the cute look by pulling silly faces and pretending she's cheerfully chubby.
Quite the phenomenon, apparently. Some people would say I was perhaps the lead vocalist.
An indication that the other girls still struggle with their identities, but at least she can poke fun at the ridiculousness of it all now, with tears of laughter rolling from her chins.
When the band split, myself and H had just had enough, really.
They'd had enough of the ungrateful dancers, raking in a fortune for miming and acting like the king's shits, whilst Claire carried the load and H swallowed it.
I pretty much didn't leave my house for about 4 years. I just started eating and got fatter and fatter and fatter.
From her Michelle Heaton cocaine era look through to the Fat Britney phase, she met somewhere in the middle for her 5-step Fat Attack DVD, where she teaches us how to lose weight dancing to steps, whilst she secretly sticks her fingers down her throat.
In 2011, Steps got back together. We filmed a TV show called Steps Reunion. We aired our differences on camera, which was all a bit weird, but apparently it made good TV. Me crying for 4 hours was brilliant.
Latched again. Every time she turns on the waterworks, he's like a rat up a drain pipe. She does well, and conducts herself with decorum. Some might say boring, but you don't get paid extra for the drama. Once she's starved herself again, rumours circulate that there's going to be another reunion for their 20th anniversary. H has been feeling a bit down as the spotlight's dimmed, and lost a lot of confidence over the years. He's been rocking a solid comb-over, but where stylists and thickening shampoo were previously able to frame his Botoxed little face, he now feels that it's time to accept a brand deal with a hair replacement company. None of your turkey shite either. State-of-the-art central London surgery, making big promises to their latest high-profile testimonial.
So it's affected my self-esteem, it's affected my confidence. In my job you have to put...
The dead look in his eyes as he describes his job and how exhausting it is to pretend that he enjoys it, whilst trying to ignore the voices in his head. Having the time of his life, as they stitch his arse hair onto his shiny dome, free of charge.
I'm going to be shouting from the rooftops how amazing you are, seriously, and I've not even seen the results yet.
You might want to hold your horses before shouting from the rooftops there, Ian. Plus you'll be gluing hair pieces on in no time anyway. So the second reunion's upon us. How exciting. Even a new album this time. So bravely building on the legendary string of 14 consecutive top 5 singles. They release Light Up the World, 83, Scared of the Dark, 37, and Story of a Heart, 173. It's a massive shit stain on the stats, but the album's done alright and the arena tour's done good numbers, so once again they go their separate ways, this time announcing that they're now permanently back together. Faye goes on Strictly Come Dancing, where everyone around her seems to be worried that she'll be a victim of the Strictly curse and leave her husband for a dancer, but she returns to her family. Claire takes a pop at a solo album. It's the only opportunity she'll get to leave these guys behind, A hit solo album would rub their nose in the fact that she's the only valuable asset, and maybe put some manners on them. It doesn't set the world on fire though. The Latch takes part in Ninja Warrior. I had no idea that real ninjas were allowed to enter, but he's managed it.
Selling over 20 million records worldwide. It's only Lee from Steps, Cammy.
You know I love Steps, Ben.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Cammy's already pissed and slurs about how much he loves Steps before they both realise that the first event is the Steps, a side splitter for the simple-minded, a once-in-a-lifetime comedy opportunity for these primetime grifters.
How's he going to do on the steps?
I think he'll be alright with the Steps. He should be.
How was he on steps?
No longer even making sense, Shepherd awkwardly responds to his idiotic co-host, realising that he's holding this together on his own.
He's very, very good.
Was he?
He's just come off tour. 1 of 5 steps. He's on the 4th.
Well, he's on the
fifth.
4th, yeah.
He's done Claire, Faye, Lisa and H.
We all knew that he'd done Claire, but Shepherd lets slip that they've all been latched, before returning to the Steps gags.
This is Lee's step.
This could be a step too far.
No.
He's done the steps. Get him.
Piss off.
And as you'd expect, a man from Steps has no problem with the
Yeah,
floaty steps.
of course. What about the flying squirrel, though, Ben?
The flying squirrel. Now this separates the men from the boys. Anyone can do those steps. Nobody knows that behind closed doors, Lee's dedicated his life to this shit, a temple of discipline, and he knows that this is his big moment to kick sand back in the eyes of his haters.
Yes, well done.
Yeah.
Now it's about creating the momentum. High and get those
Get those arms straight when you swing back. No, he's
Yeah,
struggling,
he
Ben.
knows.
He's struggling. He can't get any momentum going.
Just your legs, not your arms.
Oh, dear. Looks like Lee is leaving us, Ben.
The only thing worse than Lee's effort is Cammy's infantile jibber-jabber, like an overexcited alky on gyro day.
Tragedy.
When the feeling's gone and you can't go on, it's
Tragedy. Nobody's watching.
You're going nowhere. Da, 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 da.
Shepherd's a weak character and allows himself to be dragged down to Kamara's level. With his 3 pre-prepared Steps jokes gone, he's out of his depth anyway.
What are you doing now, Lee?
Hey.
We're getting a little bit of swing here. Is that pop star making a comeback?
It was a tragedy, I'll say it before you do.
Through that shit-eating grin, you can see the sprawling mess of his broken dreams. The saliva on the back of his school jacket. The quiet laughter from his mates as he minces around in glittery arseless chaps. His televised teabagging by Danny Woods from New Kids. This was his moment to be a real man, but he's buckled. Back at the sewage plant, and there are big plans on the horizon. A new album, tour, updated sound, nice budget, full industry support. But in 2019, COVID brought everything to a stop, and despite their importance, not even Steps were granted immunity from the restrictions. In 2021, they finally get the show back on the road so everyone can get their hands on that wonga. They each pick a solo song, a pre-recorded music video for them to mime to, and I couldn't help but tune into Latch's interview.
The reason I went for Wild Thing is I basically got a kind of, I wouldn't rock, there's some rock stars out there that disagree obviously, like rap stars would disagree with the 5, 6, 7, 8, it's not really a rap, is it?
Slow down there, cowboy. He's all over the place, addressing the insecurities about his rap and rock credentials, almost trying to make fun of himself through an awkward expression. Maybe he realises how silly it all sounded.
But I've got an edge to my voice that lends itself to a different style of music, let's say.
Maybe not then. I suppose if he lets that go, he's got nothing. And within the Steps bubble, he is the rocker, the red-blooded snatch hound, with his Led Zeppelin t-shirt from Burton's.
And it's not the pure pop that Steps is about, and I just think Wild Thing was the perfect track for me to sort of showcase that, really.
The tour's a success, and their download-only singles do okay, but it's time for them to escape each other for another few years. Meanwhile, it's decided that a stage show featuring their music will be staged in the West End following the long-term success of ABBA's Mamma Mia, where they'll even make appearances from time to time. My dislike for musicals is so deep that it wouldn't be fair for me to comment. We finish up with 2 recent bits of news. The first, that Faye's just left her family, moving back down south from the northeast where she's been for the last decade. She needs to think about herself for once. NH has reported that he's been unwell for a long period of time and has lost 60% of his vocal range and now unable to perform. Take a moment to think about that. His voice is now 40% of that Big Brother performance. At least we can still get to see Lee each Christmas.
Hi, Lee from Steps here, looking forward to playing Prince/Beast in Beauty and the Beast at the Wyvern Theatre in Swindon on the 10th of April. Be a tragedy if you miss it.
It's another 100 grand in the bank, but he'll never understand the true price. This was a top-tier shit show. The master plan was only scuppered by the founder, Tim Burns, and his love for cream-pieing young bucks. Although my theory is that Tim's decision to take the reins when everyone else walked away was energised by the enjoyment of his little hyperactive Duracell bunny, technically making Steps their love child, a joint interest to keep the flame alive. Either way, it saw success beyond anyone's wildest dreams, and everyone involved continues to enjoy the fruits of their labour, which is nice to see. There are rumours of a new album in 2027, but we can only hope that it's an idle threat. Peace and love.